So I am finally done after a year and a half with my new construction duplex project. And a lot of you guys have asked me how much it costs to build something like this. Well, that's what we're going to go over today. I have an itemized list of every single cost that we had to pay in the last year and a half to build this thing. And we're going to get into it right now. Let's get to it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you didn't already know, my name is Jay Costa. I am a real estate builder, investor, and agent here in Northern New Jersey. And if you get value after watching this video, please hit that like button down below and also consider subscribing because we are building a tight-knit community here of like-minded individuals looking to build wealth in real estate. So if that interests you, definitely check us out. Hit that subscribe bell and the notification bell as well so you can stay up to date on my weekly videos that I provide. And in this video, I'm going to go over every single cost that it took to build this brand new construction duplex project here in Northern New Jersey. This was a big undertaking, but I did have a partner that has a lot of experience doing this, so it wasn't too bad. But I wanted to share with you what exactly it costs to build a duplex property in Northern New Jersey. So a little bit of background about this property. I bought this property. There was an old two-family there that I was originally going to buy and fix it up and rent them out. But the market changed at the time and it just became more profitable to knock it down completely. It needed a lot of work and sell two separate duplex units separately, which is very common in this area. So we bought the property for $700,000. We used cash to do so. We split it 50-50 and we got a construction loan to fund the construction costs. Now, how the construction loan works is basically they will fund 50% of the land value if you'd like, but we didn't do that. We bought it with cash. But the construction part of it, they will fund 100% of the hard costs of the loan. So there's soft costs and there's hard costs. Hard costs are exactly kind of what it sounds like to build the property, like framing, excavating, electric, plumbing, to actually build the property. Soft costs are things like engineers, architects, building permit fees, things like that. That's soft costs. So soft costs, we have to pay out of pocket, and hard costs, the bank funds. But basically how it works is it's an interest-only loan at a certain percentage rate, a set percentage rate. It's not variable. Let's get into this right now. We're going to start with the soft costs here. And you could see here, I tried to zoom in as much as possible so you could take a look. So here are the soft costs. And you're going to see a lot of stuff in here that sounds ridiculous because we are in New Jersey. Things are more expensive and very cost prohibitive a lot of the time. And there's just a lot of restrictions and regulations that you have to deal with. So that's New Jersey. You're going to see what I'm talking about in a second. So these are just some random bank fees, $1,400. Soil conservation application fees, $825. The county that we live in, they basically come in and make sure there's no soil erosion issues while you're building the property. The Utilities Authority, the sewer connection application, $1,225. Now with the borough, the town, you have an application. These are building permit fees. So application fee, escrow fees, $10 additional fee, more escrow fees, sewer engineer fees, sanitary sewer connection, as well as real estate taxes of $8,900. Now, next is community housing, professional services, $1,950. I believe that's a fee that you have to pay for affordable housing that the state makes you pay when you're building anything new. Now, this is through the bank, and this is commitment fees and appraisal fees. Now, commitment fees are just what it sounds like, loan commitment, kind of like closing costs. And the appraisal fees are basically the bank, the lender for the construction loan, sends out an appraiser to let the bank know how much they think the property is going to be worth when you go to sell it. And when you go, by the way, when you go apply for a construction loan, you do have to give them an itemized sheet here of estimated costs of the builds, as well as what you think you could sell the property for at the end. And we actually came under budget here, and we're going to get to that at the end of this video. Now, insurance, you need to have good insurance. So there's two different types of insurance. There's general liability. Now, we just had a policy addition of some sort, very minimal, but we already have general liability insurance. As new home builders, we always carry that. But the next part of insurance is builder's risk. That's down here. We had to pay a renewal because we had to get it 2 separate years, over $6,000. Do not skimp on builder's risk. What builder's risk insurance covers you with is basically any accidents that may happen on the job site. And that can include subcontractors. That can include, people walking by and they're just walking onto your job site. Especially in a state like New Jersey, a blue state, very friendly towards people that are suing and not as friendly towards people that are getting sued. You want insurance that's going to cover your ass every which way, because you have tools, you have hammers, you have drills, you have screws and nails and ladders and people up on roofs and framing. So many things, so many people get hurt, so many things can happen. Cover your ass with really good builder's risk. It's not worth cheaping out on to save a couple $1,000s. It's definitely not. Now, let's go back up here. This is an AC test, town requirement $400. So in the state of New Jersey, anytime you build a new construction property, they make you have a third party go to the property and test the HVAC system for leaks, and it can't leak more than a certain amount. And then they have to sign and show a certified letter to the town that the HVAC system doesn't leak more than a certain amount for efficiency and global warming or whatever. So that's what that's for. Now, next would be, we have accounting. We have an accountant on this, $3,000. Engineering fees, over $9,000. Architect fees are in two separate things here. Architectural fees as well, that's basically for the plan, almost $6,000. And then what you have to pay the architect in order to put together plans and an application for the building permit to the town. Utilities, $1,337 over the span of a year and a half. That's really not too bad. And then water, we paid over $4,000, $4,100 over a year and a half. So altogether, all the soft costs, this was out of pocket, we had to pay almost $72,000, $71,849.50. Now, I'm going to skip down here a little bit. Here is the site work. Now, the site work, basically, first thing that we had to do was knock down the house that was there, as well as remove some trees that were there as well. So you can see that here. House demo, $22,000. That includes taking all of the debris. They knock it down and they take all the debris and stuff out. Tree removal, $5,544. And tree stump removal, $2,400. Okay? Now, another fee through the town here, sewer improvement application, $2,300. Just stupid fees to get more money from you, honestly. The landscaping at the end of the property, this is site work and landscaping, over $10,000. Drain service, video line inspection, $400. So in order to reuse the drain that was already there for the two-family property, the town and the state makes you send have a drain company send a camera down the drain to show them that there's no cracks or leaks or anything like that, and it can still be used. So that's what we did with that. It's $400, but it saves $5,000 or $10,000 in putting a new drain to the street. And then a fence, construction fence, $2,400. Put a fence up if you're anywhere near people that are walking by. You don't want any bystanders, walker-bys going onto your property, getting hurt. That's connected to what we talked about in regards to the insurance. You need to cover yourself. Get a fence. It's not worth it to save $2,400. After we knock down the property, the next step would be putting your footings down and your foundation, and then you start framing. So footings and foundation, you could actually see right down here. Footings and foundation, $72,500. Okay, and once that was done, then you could start putting your framing up. Framing is right here. So the cost of lumber, framing materials, over $93,000. More miscellaneous, $850, and miscellaneous, another $5,800. And then you also have the windows for each unit, $28,000 each. Okay, and that gets put in by the framer at the same time. And the doors, the exterior doors, the front door, the sliders, all that stuff is $4,000. Now, going down to the actual framing, the labor was $38,000. So $38,000 plus the materials of $94,000. You're talking about $125,000, something like that. And another $60,000 is $185,000. And then the doors are another $189,000. You're inching up to $200,000 for the framing materials, as well as the framing with the windows and the doors. Now inside, we put hardwood floors throughout the entire property other than the bathrooms. So the hardwood floors, the install was over $20,000, and then the sand and stain was $6,800. We did put skylights, a couple skylights that was installed with the framing as well. That was almost $1,300. Some locks, $1,600. $200 miscellaneous. Interior doors and trim, exactly what it sounds like, $23,000. That's for both units. And then the stairs inside, almost $11,000. Also the trim and the closets. So trim around the doors and things, and the closets, we did set up pretty nice, kind of custom closets with drawers and hangers and things like that. That cost $27,000 for both units. The kitchens, big expense here. The kitchens were $29,000. Cabinet handles over $400. Now on to the next part here is masonry and exterior. I did already go through the footings and foundation, but let's go through a little bit more. So when you're building, sometimes you do need steel. You need steel in the basements, like lollycoms and stuff, as well as on the exterior to hold, your brick or whatever you're using. That was over $10,000. Amazon steel brackets, $300. I'm not sure what that was. Tile for the bathrooms that we used, okay, over $20,000 for both units, so over $10,000 each. Tyvek wrap. Tyvek wrap is basically once you frame and put the sheathing on, you put the Tyvek over it to kind of waterproof the sheathing and the framing, the lumber. Gutters and leader pipes were $7,500. We also added, by request of the buyer of one of the units, we just did it on both, that was $1,000. Actually very cheap. That was a good investment. Now the next, I already went through the footings and foundation. So brickwork was $42,500, and I think this is the install. It's $48,500. Stucco, $23,200. We put some stucco on the bump outs, and the rest was brick. Tile install. So earlier I showed you the tile. Tile was here, over $20,000. Tile install was $21,500. So all the tile material and install was over $40,000 for both units. So $20,000 each. Siding materials, $1,200. Materials for mason materials, you're looking at $26,000, $9,900. You're looking at $38,000, give or take. We had some stone around the property. We put paver driveways and some walkways and things like that. That was $28,000. And then the roof was $12,500. The roof may sound fairly cheap to you, but remember, it's not like replacing an old roof, because replacing an old roof, there's a lot of labor and getting garbage and a container and stuff for the old roof. So you have to take the old roof off and then put the new one. New construction, there's no old roof to take off, so it's not as expensive. Next is the mechanicals, plumbing, electric, all that stuff. So let's get through that. And there are some miscellaneous things in here too. I'll try to go, keep it as simple as possible here. So we had some fixtures. I don't know if it was light fixtures or plumbing, but a few $100s. HVAC for both units, almost $40,000. So this was 2 zones each unit, both heat and AC. Now then, just some materials, building materials. I think this was light fixtures or fixtures around the property, $5,300 or $5,400. Shower faucets, $1,000. Lighting, more lighting fixtures, $400. Now the plumbing was $55,000 for both units, and then the plumbing fixtures were $15,000. Fireplaces, we put 1 gas fireplace in each one, and it was over $10,000. So $52.50 each unit, give or take. We put central vac in each unit as well. That was $27.50. And a little bit of insulation by this company was $750. We'll get to the full insulation later on down here. Now, the garage doors were fairly interesting. We actually tried something new. We got the garage doors from overseas, imported, and we had our garage door guy install them. Now, the garage doors are really nice. They're all glass tinted. They look really beautiful. They were only $52.65. Very good price, but it cost more than it would cost for what we usually do to install them, because there was a couple things that he had to figure out. It took longer than expected, so that was almost $4,000. But altogether, to have all glass garage doors for under $9,000 is really, really good. More plumbing fixtures, over $3,000. Now the electric work, the contract was for $58,000. And then there was a couple add-ons we did at the end. We did some vanity, some accent lighting and things like that. So another $2,600 and another $625. This is Home Depot, the tubs for each master bath, as well as the hallway bath that had just like your standard tub was over $1,700. Some miscellaneous Home Depot stuff, $700. Some lock sets, $550. So now the insulation contract was $20,200. The plumbing fixtures, more plumbing fixtures, $1,600. PC Richards, this is the appliances, the washer and dryer, the dishwasher, the stove, the refrigerator, $7,200 each unit, you see there. And then some more light fixtures, $360. So lastly is just like your finishes and general expenses that we kept track of. So the mailboxes and the mirrors and the lighting was $48 and $1,200. So about $1,300 for that. We got it from Alibaba or whatever. Just standard cheap stuff that looks fine. Arlo camera. We did pay for an Arlo camera per month while they were doing the footings and the foundation things. I would recommend this. It's a fairly reasonable price, and it didn't need Wi-Fi or anything. Allowed us to look and see who was working there and not working there that day without actually having to get in a car, waste time, and go to the job site. Although going to the job site is very good idea to do. You need to be there. You need to keep your eyes on it as much as possible. Hardware store, miscellaneous items, $1,200. Bugs, we did have to treat I believe this is for the old house that was there. The town made us treat it with bugs before knocking it down in case it was like termites or something. They didn't want to spread it all over the place. That was a $420. Drywall and sheetrock was $25,700 for both units. The shower doors were $3,000. We did get nice frameless ones in the master and then just regular ones in the other one. Some more bathroom stuff from the same company. A lot of this was shower doors and finishes in the bathroom. So another $5,000, another $1,800, another $4,000. Cleaner. So we did have, obviously at the end, it's a big mess. There's a lot of dust and dirt and things. So you have to have a good cleaning crew go in and do a deep clean. That's why it's not cheap. $1,600, but it's well worth it to get it looking brand new before you put it on the market and try to sell the thing. Lowe's, miscellaneous items, $3,000. Copies of blueprints and plans, $530. Some more locks, $230. Outside railings, we did nice, black steel railings, almost $10,000 they were. Trash dumping fees, $2,000. And then toilet, $154 each month. That was basically the state requires you, the town requires you to have an outside toilet, like a porta potty. That way, your workers aren't just going in the back next to the neighbor's property and all that good stuff. Keep it sanitary. Now, a little bit of a recap here. So first, the soft costs, we went through all of that. You know what that is? That was almost $72,000. The site work and landscaping was $45,320. The lumber and millwork was $334,081. The masonry and exterior was $328,879. The mechanicals of the property were $244,722. And the finishes and general expenses altogether was $61,953. That's a grand total, okay, hard costs and soft costs, of $1,086,806.57. Now, we actually budgeted, we are under budget. We budgeted with the lender for $1.2 million. So we're $115,000 less than that. But there is one more expense that you need to keep track of, and something that you guys probably know a lot about because we talk a lot about HELOCs on this channel, and HELOCs are interest-only loans or payments as well. The construction loan is interest only also. So we did have to pay interest payments along the way, and here's what we had to pay. So just so you know how it works, this is why it goes up in price. How it works is once you get started on building, let's say you spend $200,000 to get started for the the knocking down and the footings and the foundation or whatever. You call the bank, they send their their employee to go look at the property and make an assessment on what percentage of the build is completed. Let's say they come and say, okay, you're 5% done. So they will give you 5% of whatever was done. They'll say, okay, the demo was done, the footings were done, and the foundation is 80% done. They will calculate that exact number, and they're going to pay out that exact number. They don't overpay you before the work is done. The work has to be completed. Then they pay you what is based on what is completed at that moment, and they charge you every time they come out. So keep that in mind. So that's why the loan balance goes up over time. So at first we were only paying $1,200, and then it went up a little bit, $1,300, $3,486, $2,825, $4,209, $4,391, $67, $61.87, and $95.96, totaling in $40,000. So the $1,086,806 plus the $40,000 is $1,120.16. Still well under budget by over $85,000. This has been an amazing journey for me so far, and we're almost done. We're about to close. I want to make a separate video actually showing you how much I actually profited on this. But just to give you a general idea to kind of wet your whistle, we bought the land for $700,000, as I mentioned earlier. We built this thing for $1,127,788. That includes hard costs and soft costs and interest only. So if you do $1,127,788 plus $700,000, $1,827,788.16. And we are going to sell these things for a total combined $2,450,000. Now, there's some commission to be paid, there's taxes to be paid, there's fees to be paid on the closing costs and things like that. But just to give you an idea of what the profit is, it's not going to be that much because, like I said, there is commissions and everything, closing costs to be paid. But we made a profit on this, and anytime you make a profit, you should be happy, honestly. And it was a great learning experience. But I will get to that in my next video. And if that interests you, and if this project interests you at all, I will put a link to my custom playlist that I made about this project in the description box down below, as well as up here in the corner. And if you have any questions about how this worked, if you have any questions about getting started building property, it's something that there's not too much content on YouTube, in my opinion. And I would like to, start providing a little bit of content for new construction, because in this area, I know most of the other, most of the real estate investing out there is just like buy a 2-family, a multifamily, and collect rent and improve it and whatever, and that's fine. But this area, we're right outside of Manhattan, New York City, and it's so heavily congested, it's so competitive in that arena that most of those, in my opinion, are not great investments. The better investments are the new construction, because not everyone can do it, and it's a smaller pool that can actually get it done. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below about these numbers. If you have any questions about it, let me know. We'd love to start a conversation with you, and I will see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.